From your 24-hour news source, this is News 4 St. Louis Nightside.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for this late edition of Nightside. Larry Connors is off tonight. Tonight, Scott Air Force Base is welcoming home hundreds of medical personnel who served in Operation Desert Storm. Nightside's Sandra Hughes was there as the families and friends greeted their loved ones.
The plan was to have families and airmen reunite inside Hangar 1 at Scott Air Force Base. But as the commercial plane taxied near, the crowd streamed outside. The jet's noise deafening, but no one seemed to mind. Loved ones cheered as the doors opened and faces became visible. Some 300 medical personnel arrived home here tonight.
Feels great. Wonderful. We came into Bangor, Maine, and the reception there was just overwhelming. There was thousands of people there. It was wonderful, though.
2/3 of this group are active duty, 1/3 Air Force reservists. All were deployed to somewhere in the Middle East.
These airmen and women work together in the Middle East at a portable contingency hospital. They've been away since early January.
But those 2.5 months have been hard on both sides of the world.
Not knowing what was going on back here with friends and family, that was the hardest part.
It's going to be the best thing about tonight. What are you going to do?
Oh, just holding. Just to be held again.
Officials say hundreds of Scott personnel have yet to return, but they don't know when those people will be coming home. The waiting for some continues. Sandra Hughes, News 4 Nightside at Scott Air Force Base.
The starving people of Iraq may soon be getting much-needed shipments of food. The United Nations Sanctions Committee apparently has decided to lift the food embargo on Iraq after hearing UN officials describe the deplorable post-war conditions inside that country. The committee's formal vote on lifting the food embargo is expected tomorrow. One UN diplomat says this is strictly a humanitarian gesture. 4 St. Louis University students are in custody tonight, charged with promoting gambling and possession of gambling records. They are all members of the Billiken baseball team. 2 of the students are from St. Louis, the other 2 from Kansas City. And police say they have ties to organized crime. University officials tonight released a statement saying they are shocked by the gambling investigation. A 26-year-old man accused of killing his 2 stepsons faces a death sentence tonight. The murder trial of Marcus Atkins of Belleville ended less than 2 hours ago. We get more on this emotional case and the verdict from Nightside's Jamie Ullman.
Prosecutors say 5-year-old Norman Pete and 8-year-old Terry Pete were the victims of domestic rage. Their stepfather, Marcus Adkins, was distraught after his wife, 25-year-old Norma Simmons, had separated from him, leaving their home in Illinois the summer of '89 and moving to an apartment in South St. Louis. On February 8, 1990, months of feuding exploded when Adkins showed up armed at Simmons' apartment and chased away a male visitor. But the children were trapped inside, and after a standoff with police, officers entered the apartment and discovered the bodies of the 2 boys. Both had been shot in the head at close range. Relatives said the killings were Adkins' way of getting back at his wife. Adkins had attempted suicide by shooting himself in the chest, but he recovered in time for trial. After some 6 hours of deliberations, the jury has found Marcus Adkins guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder. Tomorrow, the penalty phase of the trial begins, and prosecutor Dwight Warren says he will be asking for the death penalty. Jamie Ullman, News 4, Nightside.
The defense has maintained throughout the trial that Marcus Atkins was not the person who killed the 2 children. 11 St. Louis school children are recovering from minor injuries tonight after a rush hour accident nearly toppled their bus. The accident happened on Highway 40 near Spady Road. The bus carrying students from Mason Ridge Elementary School ran off the road after the driver swerved on wet pavement to avoid hitting another car. The children were taken to 3 area hospitals for treatment of minor injuries. All of them were released tonight. One injured student says the crash caused lots of tears, but no panic.
The kids was crying, and all of us were just coming up to the front of the bus so we can get ready and get off. But some kids were trying to go out the back exit door, but they couldn't get it open, so everybody just came up to the front.
The airline travel business is still slow, so slow that some airlines are now giving away tickets. United Airlines, teaming up with the state of Illinois, is offering free tickets in a lottery scratch-off game. And now, British Airways is giving away 50,000 round-trip tickets for international travel. The airline hopes the free tickets will get travelers who were scared away by terrorist threats during the Gulf War flying again. The major U.S. carriers have not yet decided whether they will match the British Airways freebies. TWA is attracting the attention of a billionaire investor. Here is money reporter Mike Brown.
Billionaire investor Kirk Kerkorian is indicating tonight he may resume negotiations to buy TWA, quote, if circumstances change. Kerkorian talked with a coalition of St. Louis business and political leaders, as well as TWA's unions recently, about making a bid for the struggling airline. At one point, reportedly, Kerkorian was ready to put up $250 million for TWA to fix it up, keep it flying, but the talks bogged down over financial and contractual issues. Well, FDIC Chairman William Seidman says his agency may have to borrow up to $35 billion to make up for losses in the bank insurance fund. The fund insuring your bank deposits lost $4.8 billion last year as 169 U.S. banks failed. Seidman says the FDIC will borrow $10 billion to get through this year, another $25 billion next year and beyond. The stock market tried again to rally today, but interest rate fears chased away the optimists and left the Dow Industrials down 16.5 points. Locally, Anheuser-Busch up another 5/8 today. Edison Brothers slips a quarter. Emerson Electric lost $0.50 a share. May Stores skids a 1 3/8. McDonnell Douglas down a full point, and Ralston Purina picks up 3/4. Stock market updates 3 times a day on your 24-hour news source. I'm Mike Brown with news for your money. Nightside.
There are 3 winning tickets, but who are the big winners? That story and these coming up.
They might not be worth a lot now, but you never know what the future holds. This is Mary Phelan. Stay tuned to find out how one St. Louis man is promoting this nation's black women.
This is Zip. The Blues flew into Philly and befuddled the Flyers. I'll have the story later.
And the Donald discovers he can't seem to give away the money. $10 million worth. That story next on this late edition of Nightside.
From your 24-hour news source, Julius Hunter, Larry Connors, weather with meteorologist Mike Nelson, and sports with Zipra Zeppa. You're watching News for St. Louis Nightside.
The Donald may have spoken too soon. His $10 million divorce settlement is not quite settled. Donald Trump carried a $10 million certified check to court today, thinking the deal was done.
We've made a commitment and we've lived up to it. We had a transaction done, completed, and unfortunately, I'm not sure, but I understand the other party is not here today.
Right, Donald. Ivana Trump was a no-show at court. Her lawyer says there's still a lot of details to work out yet. Outside the courtroom, Trump complained to reporters that Ivana is trying to nickel and dime him to death. Still, the Donald's lawyers say all of this will be worked out, and they promise it'll be worked out soon. Illinois state lottery officials are waiting for the 3 winners of yesterday's $61.5 million lotto jackpot to come forward. One of the 3 winning tickets was purchased at Suburban Liquor in Cahokia, Illinois, so there's a good chance a bi-state resident is a new multimillionaire. The owner of Suburban Liquor will collect 1% of the ticket value. That would be $200,000. Well, each year, several hundred young black women participate in the Miss Black America pageant. And as News 4's Mary Phelan reports, one St. Louis man is hoping the entire country will want to get to know them.
Sharon Rose was the 4th runner-up in the 1990 Miss Black America pageant.
You get self-esteem and you get to meet a lot of people and travel a little bit.
Little did she know she'd be on a trading card, part of the 1990 edition of the Miss Black America trading cards. St. Louis and Willie Franks came up with the idea after collecting baseball cards as a child.
My mother threw away my baseball cards, you know, and so I figured if I made trading cards with women on them, that the mother would be less likely to throw them away.
Tina King from Pittsburgh doesn't want anyone to throw away her cards.
Hopefully it'd be worth a lot of money. Maybe not as much as a Willie Stargell, but hopefully.
Gwendolyn Briggs was Miss Danville, Illinois in the 1990 Miss Black America pageant. I asked her what she thought about appearing on a trading card.
Different. But sometimes it takes things like that to promote. And I think it'll be very good as far as being positive role models for young girls of all races, not only black.
Wow. How glamorous is it to have your picture on a trading card that's going to be sold nationwide? All the women we talked to said they were really excited about it. And you know, these might not be worth a lot of money right now, but think of the potential for the future. Willie is hoping to eventually distribute the cards nationwide, allowing all of America to see the achievements of this country's black women. What's your wife think of all this?
Well, she gave me rules, you know, restrictions.
Mary Phelan, News 4, Nightside.
Well, some of the world's best skaters are showing their stuff in the 51st edition of Icecapades. News 4's Mary Phelan, you just saw her earlier, opened the show tonight at the arena. This was for Kids' Sake Night at the Icecapades. The glitzy, glamorous show runs through Sunday at the arena and features Olympic silver medalist Elizabeth Manley plus Barbie and the ever-present Simpsons, and a host of skaters all dressed in beautiful costumes who dance on the ice. But the star of the show is Simone Grigorescu, a young skater who fled from Romania with her family to live in America. For Kids' Sake is a year-long commitment by Channel 4 and our sponsors shown here on your screen, Deerberg's Blockbuster Video and Popeye's Chicken. The goal of the project is to enhance the quality of life for St. Louis area children. And now, Mike Nelson was supposed to have joined Mary for the opening of the Icecapades, but he had to stay in our News 4 Weather Center keeping watch on tonight's storms. He'll tell you all about the activity out there coming up next on this late edition of Nightside.
Mike Nelson's weather forecast has the AMS seal of approval.
Mike Nelson is here right now with the latest weather, and he'll let us know what we can expect for the next 4 days.
Julius, it's quiet right now, but it looks like it's going to be an active next 24 hours, and I think it's going to be a very active spring as far as severe weather is concerned. So if you have not yet picked up that severe weather guide, I would strongly recommend it. It's free, and all you have to do is write to us here at Watch the Skies, 1 Memorial Drive, St. Louis, Missouri, 63102, or pick it up at the St. Louis Science Center, or at the lobby here at Channel 4, or at the lobby at KC95 Radio. So there's no excuse to not have one. Matter of fact, if you see me in the street, I'll give one to you because I always carry some in my coat pocket. Always. Okay, let's start out by looking at how fast those storms were moving today. This is the Skywatch camera starting at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and the thunderstorm activity usually was moving through at about 45 miles per hour today, and it meant that some places would get hail, and about 5 minutes later the sun was out, and the same fast-moving weather pattern is going to hold for the next 24 hours with more stormy weather on the way. So sit tight for that, folks. 83 was the high temperature. Not a record. The record high for this date is 90. The low temperature this morning, 57 degrees. My forecast was on target for the low, but I didn't think we'd see quite that much sun early on, so the temperature was a little bit low for the prediction on the high temperature. The normal is 55 and 35, just to show you how far above normal we are. Temperature right now is 64 degrees, 87% relative humidity. The barometer 29.70 and holding steady, and the winds are currently out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Things have calmed down a little bit here, but look at the lightning locator. These are the lightning strikes since about 10:30 tonight, and they are painting all of southeastern Missouri into southern Illinois. We've counted up over 3,000 lightning strikes today, and about 500 of them are on the screen right here. Here's what it looks like on radar. The thunderstorm activity that is causing all of that lightning is gradually sliding on toward the east now at about 30 miles per hour. No precipitation back throughout all of the Channel 4 viewing area with the exception of the extreme southern counties. It looks like it'll be dry for the next several hours. A slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm late tonight. And then there'll be more of them coming up tomorrow. Take a look at the satellite picture and I'll show you why. We have an extensive area of cloud cover across the two-state region that then goes all the way back into Texas. And here is the main reason I think why tomorrow will be an equally busy day, if not more thunderstorm activity than we had today. All of these thunderstorms developed way out in advance of the cold front. The front is not due to arrive here until late tomorrow. This low pressure system will rapidly intensify over the next 24 hours, pulling plenty of warm, moist air in ahead of it and stirring up some very powerful thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. With the cold front moving across the Midwest, we'll see a windy, warm day ahead of it, a good chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and early evening tomorrow, and severe storms are likely tomorrow from Kansas City, especially in the St. Louis area, extending down to Memphis and all the way north to near Chicago, east to about Indianapolis. It could be a very dangerous weather situation tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned right here on Channel 4 and we'll keep you up to date as the storm system moves by. Now, by Saturday, the front pushes through and very strong west winds swirl around this intense low pressure system. I think we'll have wind gusts Saturday afternoon in excess of 40 miles per hour. Here's what I'm looking at for the next 4 days. More thunderstorm activity tomorrow, likely to be severe in the afternoon into early evening. High temperature